Welcome, everybody, to the Rope Break Podcast. I am your host, Jeff Wolf, and I am alongside my buddy and good old pal, Eric Vanek.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're going to do a live TNA Impact pre-show for you guys tonight.
Yeah, that's not happening. Why
not?
What?
Why not?
Yes, no one wants to hear about Impact. What if
I want to hear about fucking Impact?
I don't care.
Maybe it's the return of fucking Willow tonight.
We're not going to talk about Impact. We're going to talk about something people actually care about at least a little bit more, and that's going to be the NXT Arrival show that is going to air tonight on the WWE Network. If you haven't already signed up, you can sign up. It's fairly easy now. It was an absolute headache and a half, and I would never want to be put through that whole agenda again on Monday. It took me freaking 5 hours to get signed up for the network, and as of last night, it was the first night where I was able to actually watch video on demand and not freeze after 5 seconds.
All right. Well, other than your little issues there, what was your thoughts of the network before we get started here?
I think the network now, I love it. There's a short list of pay-per-views that aren't on there, but from that list, it's not much of anything that anyone would even care to really want to see. I think it's an awesome idea. The live streaming is good. They have to get a little bit of kinks out. I remember when I was watching the pre-show and post-show for Raw, there was sometimes where it would play the same exact scene of like 2 or 3 seconds over and over and over again, like 3 times in a row. So it was kind of like looping some things. But other than that, I think it works really well. It's definitely worth the $9.99 a month. I know people were complaining that they were wanting the free preview and they were still getting billed. I think the WWE kind of fixed that recently in the last 24 hours. But yeah, it's definitely something I would absolutely recommend.
All these fucks want everything for free.
Yeah, I know. Everyone wants it for free.
I like it as well. I mean, you get pretty much every pay-per-view ever created known to man. And unless it's TNA, but I'm sure TNA pay-per-views will be on the WWE Network within the next year or so anyways. Yep. The only thing I don't like is, and you already know, is no Nitros, no Thunders yet for old WCW shows. Old Raw and SmackDowns, I mean, it only goes to 2011, but I heard, like, it takes a long time for them to edit everything and make sure everything's good enough to go onto the network and upload it or whatever they gotta do. So who knows when we'll ever see that stuff. And then, like, I know, like, when they first broadcast it, like, they said, you know, all the episodes of Total Divas will be on here and all that stuff. They're not on there. I haven't found them yet. Because I never watched Total Divas. I was kind of looking forward to maybe just watching the first season. But that wasn't on there. But just little gripes. But I honestly have had no problems at all with anything.
Yeah, I know. You were good the launch day.
Yeah, I was good all the time. So I don't know how I got so lucky, but I did. So
yeah, there's a lot of people. A lot of people were having issues with the freezing like I was, but even outside of that, they were having that issue. Plus, they were having issues of stuff just not even playing. So yeah. It seems like within the last couple of days, they've been fixing problems a lot. And at least for me, last night, like I said, was the first night where I was able actually to watch a show with no freezing at all. So it seems like things are finally getting fixed. And the cool thing about them putting things on quickly, at least in my opinion, is on launch day there was very few, it seemed, of the old Raws. But then as of last night, it went back for at least 2 years or something like that. So. I think things will get on quicker than we think. It's just going to take a little bit of time. There's a little bit of hiccups, like there is for everything that's brand new that's launching, and that's probably why everyone is getting a free week.
Yeah, so hopefully they add more shit because, like me and you were talking about, we want to watch stuff from back in the early '90s and rewatch stuff. Pretty much start over again, kind of thing, and just relive our memories and shit that we had when we were kids. So
yeah, and my big thing is I really want them to put more of the ECW television shows on there because there's only 4, and they go back from like 92. It's like I'd like a little bit newer than that. I mean, I'm not talking about TNN days, but just a little bit. I mean, just a little bit more.
You don't want to see the Network and Cyrus the Virus?
No.
Fucking love Cyrus. Anyways, tonight is actually going to be a big night for the WWE Network because it's their NXT Arrival show, the first live show. It's actually being a live broadcast. It's going to be a 2-hour show from 8 to 10, and there's beforehand a half-hour pre-show. They're going to have Kevin Nash, Bret Hart, and Paul Heyman, I think, are the 3 guest analysis hosts, I guess, for the night.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be cool to see those guys. But it's a big thing for WWE tonight. If hopefully everything goes smoothly, there's no hiccups, there's no things, the stream dropping and stuff like that, because I mean, honestly, they're going to have to iron all this out before they're going to broadcast their biggest pay-per-view, because if their biggest pay-per-view of the year goes out and the stream don't work, there are going to be people fucking pissed.
That's going to be... I'm interested to see how tonight goes, because if you're right, if a small hiccup is expected, but if they can't even have the ability for this stream for NXT, for something that a lot of fans honestly don't know anything about. There's a lot of people that don't have Hulu Plus and weren't able to see it or wouldn't find it on other ways. So this is definitely going to be a trial run for them in a sort, because not a lot of people even care about NXT, I would assume. But it'll be at least a way for them to see a good amount of people getting on and seeing if they can actually withstand everyone watching the stream at the same time.
Yeah, so. All right, well, why don't we kick us off here with NXT? Do you want to talk about the matches first, or...?
Yeah, let's talk. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about... there's only 3 matches that are signed right now. I'm sure they're going to be adding more than just 3, because like you said, it's a 2-hour broadcast. I mean, we're not going to get 3 45-minute matches. So more will get added tonight. But yeah, we're going to talk about the three highlighted matches, and then we're going to talk about a couple people that we actually think are going to be the next breakout stars of the WWE from NXT. So what we're going to do is we're going to get to, you know what? Let's just talk about the world title match first. I'm mostly excited about the match that doesn't even have a title on the line that's announced so far. But the world title match for tonight is for the NXT world title. It's Bo Dallas, who is the champion, taking on Adrian Neville in a ladder match.
Yep. And as you know, I am a huge Adrian Neville fan.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you kind of pointed him out to me like, hey, man, you need to watch this guy. So I was like, okay. And I was completely amazed. The stuff this guy can do in the ring, it puts Rey Mysterio to shame. It really does. He does these crazy flips and handstands and, like a million flips like in a row. It's crazy what this guy can do. But I mean, besides all of that, he's a very talented wrestler, no doubt. Bo Dallas, I know you don't like him at all.
I hate Bo Dallas with a passion.
I think he's okay. He's like,
I just want to punch him in the face.
I think he's a solid wrestler, but like I get what you're saying. Like when he talks, it's like it's not very entertaining.
For anyone that actually listens to us and you watch Bo Dallas talk, keep in mind Bo Dallas is brothers with Bray Wyatt, and I want you just to think, how the hell are they brothers? Because one can talk basically as good as Raven used to talk, and one can talk as bad as, and this is going to be the first time this name gets dropped, as bad as Chris Benoit was when he first started to talk.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I remember Batista.
Bo Dallas just drives me crazy.
I remember Batista was really bad when he started talking too.
What?
He got better. Oh, he's been off for 4 years, but before he left, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
He was getting
I agree. I just like busting old Dave Batista's balls.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna fucking Batista you in the ass.
I'm trying. Every single Monday, I'm tweeting him, trying to get under his nerves. I'm waiting for a retweet.
Oh, jeez. But, yeah, this is going to be a really good match for the NXT title. Bo Dallas is the longest reigning NXT World Champion thus far. There's only been 3 World Champions. Seth Rollins was the first one. Big E Langston, WWE. Big E was the second one. And Bo Dallas is the third one, and he's the longest reigning one. But tonight, I fully expect Adrian Neville to go out on top and win this match tonight. I expect Adrian Neville to be the star of the show tonight. He is going to be the talk of the internet. He is going to be. I mean, you have Sami Zayn and Antonio Cesaro on this card
that's a bold
too.
Statement.
Adrian Neville is going to be the guy that everyone talks about tonight.
I think this match is going to be. I think it's going to be a really good match, actually. And I think the thing is, I hate Bo Dallas's look. I hate that Bo Dallas has been in the system for so many years. Been with so many different partners, been given so many different chances, got a chance on Raw for a little while. You can tell at a certain point when someone has it when they don't have it. Bo Dallas doesn't have it. He hasn't had it for a while. But because of who his dad is, and now because of Bray Wyatt, I think Bo Dallas gets even a bigger rub of a chance. Bo Dallas isn't a horrible wrestler. I'm not going to go out and say he's a bad wrestler. He just doesn't have it, and he's just kind of boring to watch. But he is the NXT champion. They are giving him a shot yet again. Neville is absolutely astonishing in the ring. He's not the typical WWE guy that you would even expect to see. Like you said, he does some amazing acrobatic flips, and you'll definitely see it. The thought of him in a ladder match on a show like this, where you're kind of, a lot of people are getting their first taste of NXT, so to speak. It should be really cool to see what he does in the ring. I think the match will be good. I don't think Neville's going to win though. I think Bo Dallas is still going to keep the title. I hope not for too much longer. Maybe they're going to be starting to gear towards someone else to grab the title, because what they usually do in the past, at least, was they would give someone the title, and that would be their stepping stone to being put onto WWE main TV, and then someone else would drop it. That would kind of be, or someone else would grab it. That would kind of be next in line. And maybe they're testing to see if Bo Dallas can. Maybe they'll give him another shot. Hopefully he does drop the title soon, but I don't think it's going to be tonight. I think the thing with Neville, like you said, of him being the talk for tonight, I don't know if he will be. I don't think he will be able to outshine what Zayn and Cesaro are going to be able to do tonight, but I think a lot of people already know. I mean, obviously everyone knows about Cesaro. I'm hoping people knowing about Cesaro went on YouTube, and kind of looked up previous matches and saw Sami Zayn and Cesaro's first match. And I think they'll be able to even do more than what they did previously, because they've already been able to do stuff with each other, and then this being a bigger event, I think they're going to want to step it up even more, and Cesaro even gain more as a professional wrestler. But for the actual match, I think people's first look at Neville is going to be the big talk. I think you're right in that respect.
Yeah, because not a lot of people know him. A lot of people know Cesaro. If you're a hardcore wrestling fan that follows like the indie wrestlings and all that, you know who Sami Zayn is. He used to be El Generico, right?
Yes.
So people know who he is. He's already got a fan following pretty much in NXT just based off of that. Adrian Neville, he's got a following in NXT, but it's not anywhere near where Sami Zayn or Cesaro would be. But I just think tonight he's going to steal the show, and I hope he wins the world title too.
I hope he does too, believe me. I hope he does. I just don't think he will.
Well, let's continue on with Zayn and Cesaro.
Yeah, we might as well. We've already been talking about it.
Yeah. So that match is going to be a 2 out of 3 falls match. There's no it's not like a 3 stages of hell or anything. There's no stipulations for each fall. It's just straight up wrestling like it should be for these two.
And these two are professional wrestlers.
Yes, these are a step below what Daniel Bryan and CM Punk's can do. Well, Cesaro, I would put up with Daniel Bryan and them right now, but Sami Zayn is pretty much right on the level of those guys. He's been doing it for years. He's another indie guy just like Daniel Bryan was and CM Punk was before they got in the WWE. He was recently signed within the last year. So If you've never seen these two guys before, they are just outstanding wrestlers.
And they have good chemistry, too.
Yeah, they have very good chemistry.
You're
These guys have fought. Yeah, they fought in Ring of Honor before, I believe. Don't quote me on it because I don't watch Ring of Honor, but I'm pretty sure these guys have fought in different places before. I'm pretty sure they've fought in Ring of Honor.
I wouldn't be shocked if they did. I mean, I can't remember an actual match of them, but they both, being where they were in Ring of Honor, that definitely, I'm sure their paths crossed at least once before.
Yeah, and I know they've mentioned it on NXT shows, so I'm pretty sure they have. But anyways, I mean, these two are just phenomenal wrestlers. They had a previous 2 out of 3 Malls match where Cesaro won. Zayn actually got the first pinfall, and then Cesaro got the last 2. It was probably like a 17 to 20 minute match, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was like around 17 minutes.
Yeah, and it was pretty much the buzz of everybody on the internet of how good this match was. It was just a very entertaining wrestling match. So that is exactly why WWE is making sure these two are fighting again. They've had a little feud going back and forth on NXT. Zayn wanted a rematch. Cesaro wouldn't give it to him. But then I think it was 2 weeks ago on NXT, Triple H came out and said what's best for business is you two fighting again. So tonight on NXT Arrival, these two are going to be fighting again, 2 out of 3 falls. So it's going to be very, very hard to duplicate what they did last time, but I wouldn't be shocked if they did even better.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious why this is going to be on NXT Arrival. A lot, like I've mentioned, a lot of people are not too familiar with NXT, and for this to be the first show, the first pay-per-view basically on the new WWE network, and getting a lot of people fresh with what NXT is about. Sami Zayn and Cesaro definitely had the match of the year in NXT, and they want to put that on their big pay-per-view for people to see for the first time.
They want people talking about it,
yeah.
And this is going to get people talking. So.
Yeah, and Cesaro, the way that he's been stepping up his game even more and more on WWE television, you're right. It's hard to duplicate any kind of top match and any kind of classic, you could say. But I think if it could happen, it's going to happen tonight. But then again, I hope I'm not let down, and it's a crappy match.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of pressure on these two, so I don't think the pressure is going to get to them either. It's just going to be very hard to duplicate what they did last time, but I think it's going to be a very, very, very good match either way. It's not going to be a letdown. It's not going to be a shitty match. So,
no.
Man, it's hard to predict who I think is going to win because they are pushing Cesaro right now, and I think losing to someone that's not on the WWE roster, and you got people that watch pretty much just WWE, the casual fan, going on there and seeing Sami Zayn beat Cesaro. I mean, I think that would be a little shot to Cesaro downwards, where you want him going upwards right now, and he's pretty much on the fast track right now.
Yeah, I can see that opinion. I think Zayn wins this one, definitely, though. I think because this is an NXT show, and Cesaro is obviously not an NXT wrestler anymore. They're just doing this because of the how epic of a match they had beforehand. I think it's important for Zayn to go over, especially because Zayn did not go over the first match. I think getting the rematch, Zayn goes over. Cesaro and Zayn kind of had a little... they had like a little mini sit-down interview that they showed on the WWE Network for the This Is NXT show at the very end, kind of thing where like they weren't able to touch each other beforehand, or both would have like I think it was Zayn wouldn't get this rematch if he touched Cesaro, and Cesaro would have been taken out of the Elimination Chamber if he touched Zayn, and then Zayn kind of looked like the stronger kind of hero point in that sit-down interview. I just think overall it's more important for this show for Zayn to get the win, and I think he will. Maybe it'll be through interference or something, but I think Zayn does get the win here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go with it, because this is one match I really don't know who would win. It could definitely go either way.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very good match either way.
Yeah.
So, and then the third match on the card that's confirmed, I know they've talked about it on Raw and stuff, I believe.
Yeah, they did last week.
Mentioned
very,
it at
very
least. But it's going to be for the NXT Women's Championship, which is currently held by Paige. And she's going to be taking on Emma, who's been on WWE quite a bit the last month or so. Paige has been injured or sick or something for like the last 2 or 3 months, so she hasn't really been around. So this will be her first match in a couple months. It's going to be interesting to see this one too, because I mean Emma is on WWE TV. Everybody knows her that's going to be watching it. Nobody really knows Paige unless you really watch NXT. But Paige is the far better. I think she's a far better wrestler.
Yeah. She's the future.
Better character. Yeah, she is. I don't want to call her AJ or Lita, but she's kind of in the mold of AJ and Lita, like the little bit of darker side.
Yeah.
They're not really call themselves a diva. They're like the anti-diva, which she calls herself anyways.
Yeah.
And trying to think of how I could put this, but she's a very talented wrestler. She's decent on the mic. I've heard her on the mic a few times. She is, if you watch an NXT show, back in, let's say 5-6 months ago when Big E Langston was on there, like Big E got the biggest reactions. The second biggest reactions were Paige.
Yeah.
And there was Paige signs and Paige, reactions. I mean, she's a big star in NXT. The fans down there love her. So this is definitely two of the future divas of the WWE, and both of these girls can wrestle. So it should be a good match. I don't see Emma beating Paige, though. I think they want to showcase Paige tonight, so I'm going to go with Paige as the winner.
Yeah, I fully agree with everything you basically said. Paige definitely is going to get the win here tonight. I think this is Emma's. Basically, I mean, with the thing with NXT is even when they're on the main roster, they still do NXT from time to time, kind of just getting them as much experience as possible. So it's not Emma's leaving NXT fully, but it's definitely Emma saying that this is basically it. Paige is definitely going to get the win here. This match will be really good, and I'm excited for this match because this is actually good women's wrestling. And WWE main roster doesn't have a whole lot of good pairing for women's wrestling. So for people watching this that have never seen NXT before, you're actually going to see a very good women's wrestling contest, and it's going to be very reminiscent from the Attitude days, or even a little bit past that, when you had people like Trish Stratus and Lita and others like that.
Well, and the other thing I was going to point out too is I pretty much probably expecting this match to end up with like a disqualification or something, because, and I expect all of the divas to come pouring out and getting a big diva fight, because you have the BFFs right now who is Summer Rae, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte, which Charlotte is Ric Flair's daughter. They're kind of on their own little thing against Emma and some of the other divas. I know lately it's been Emma, Bayley, and Natalya have been kind of feuding down on NXT with the BFFs. So I expect some way all these girls to all get involved in this match somehow tonight. Hopefully it's a clean finish and they let them continue on and fight or something, but I would expect to see all these girls here tonight too.
Yeah, hopefully that kind of thing doesn't get overshadowed by their actually being able to have a solid match. I hope that they're given a good 12 to 15 minutes at least of being able to have a good solid women's wrestling contest, and then they get the BS in there to keep that feud going and everything, because I know that's been going on down there. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a solid match, and I definitely see Paige getting the win. But it'll be fun for people to also see Emma get to wrestle as well against another really good female wrestler.
Yeah. Okay. Before we end the show today, we were going to talk about a couple NXT workers, either male or female, that we both think we could see up in the WWE within the year. You can go ahead and start first, Jeff, with who you think.
I had 5, but we've already talked about 3 of those. We've talked about Paige, who, once she gets up there, she is going to do some amazing things and bring that female women's division back up to where it should be. Because I actually do love women's wrestling. I think when you have the women being able to wrestle in an entertaining way, not just like a stupid we're women with boobs and ass. When you actually have female wrestlers being on the card in a fun wrestling way, it's good for the whole company. And Paige is definitely an older fashioned kind of wrestler that's going to be able to do some good things up there. And when you put Paige up there and you have Emma up there and you have Summer Rae up there, that's just adding more and more good female talent. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Someone else we've talked about is Sami Zayn. He's a good wrestler. He's a great wrestler. The thing with him though is, and it's kind of the same with a couple of these people, is I don't know where or how they're going to put him in the main roster once he is ready. But he is an awesome wrestler. He has a really good following. He definitely will get over. He does have that indie stigma to him that a lot of guys have a hard time of overcoming, like a CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, but they finally do. Someone like Chris Hero, but Chris Hero wasn't even able to get to this point yet. And another person we've talked about is Adrian Neville. You're going to see tonight, he is an amazing, amazing athlete, and it'll be fun to see once he does finally get to the main roster how he will be used. I would assume he'd be paired with someone as a tag team first off. How cool would it be to see him and Ray as a tag team for a couple matches? I think that would be awesome.
I think him and Kofi would be a good team too.
Yeah. Either way, I think they're going to have to show.
He's got the coolest finisher. So I hope he gets to hit it off the top of the fucking ladder tonight.
If he hits it off the top of the ladder, that'll be cooler than anything Jeff Hardy's ever done off the top of a ladder.
Yep. Well, I wouldn't say that. Jeff Hardy's done some. I mean, remember that 40-foot fucking ladder he jumped off?
That's true. That is true. Yeah, and there's just 2 other people I wanted to quickly talk about. One being Corey Graves, who I have been high on for such a long time. He's kind of like a badass edge kind of guy. He could have been in Raven's flock back. Yeah, he would have been great in that. He's just got like that rock star kind of look and that rock star kind of attitude. So I'm excited to see him get put up, and he's been in NXT and FCW for a long time now, so his time should be coming. I know they were high on him just a couple months ago, and then something apparently happened where he got backtracked a little bit. So hopefully before not too long we'll get to see him up on the main roster, because I think he'll be able to do some really cool things up there. And another guy is Solomon Crow, that a lot of other people might know of as Sami Callihan. He hasn't been in NXT very long at all. It's just been a couple months, and I don't think he's even done too much in NXT yet, has he?
No, just I think that stupid video that we saw one time of his debut where he used an iPad weird. That's not turned on.
His character is kind of weird. It's kind of like a hacker, computer hacker kind of gimmick, which is not what he's about at all. And I'm sure he's not a huge fan of doing this character, but whatever you got to do to get your feet in. He's an outstanding indie talent. He was basically the new King of the Indies kind of guy. So it'll be cool to see him advance in NXT. He'll probably be in NXT for a while, and then we'll hopefully get to see him on the main roster at some point. But yeah, definitely looking forward to him and the other 4 that I mentioned. One other person I didn't mention that would kind of be like on my lookout for a list would be Connor. I think Connor has some skills. He's been in there for a while. He's gone through a couple different kind of tag team partners. It seems something always happens with his partner that they get cut, but Connor stays. He's got good talent. And I definitely can see him being up in the main roster with the Ascension at some point.
Okay, and starting off with mine, that's actually where I was first starting off, was the Ascension.
Oh, okay, good segue.
Yes, so which is Connor and Victor right now. The other partner got fired like a year and a half ago for DUI or some shit.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is the new Ascension. I don't want to compare it to Undertaker's entrance, but it's damn fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a real dark, like, the music just fits perfectly with it, and it's so well done. Like, they wear these, like, contacts that make their eyes, like, I don't, it's hard to explain. You'll have to see it. They'll definitely be on tonight because they are the longest reigning tag team champions in NXT. They'll be on tonight. They'll have a match against somebody, and you'll see them tonight. With the way the tag team division is going right now, I expect these guys to be up, within the year. I mean, they're a solid tag team. They're big guys, so Vince McMahon's creaming in his panties over these guys because they're really big. So he'll love that. Other guys, I mean, we already talked about Adrian Neville. I mean, there's nothing more really to say. Corey Graves was another one. He's just a dark character, and you don't see that in WWE now since they've gone to the PG stuff. And he kind of seems like he would be like the bully type, and I know they're against the Be a Star. They have the Be a Star and the anti-bullying stuff, so I don't see him doing something like that. But he has a gritty character.
He could almost be paired with the Wyatts.
I guess, but he's more of a...
The only reason I say that is because he has kind of like a darker kind of character like Bray has. I mean, he obviously isn't like the other two at all in any regard, but...
Yeah, he's just an ass kicker, was what he is. He's just no nonsense, just gonna kick your fucking teeth down your throat kind of guy. And he's very talented, does very good promo work, very good in the ring. He's got a cool finisher, so I like him to come up this year. Some other guys that I do like, they're a tag team right now, but Big Cass, Colin Cassidy, and Enzo Amore. I know Enzo is like Triple H and Stephanie's like pet project, and they love him. They think he's going to be a superstar. But his partner, Colin Cassidy, I think really gets overlooked. He's a big dude. He's like 6'9", 6'10", very physical guy. He can go in the ring. He's not like stiff like Great Khali and stuff like that for a bigger guy. So this guy could really go. I could see these guys being a really good tag team. I think Enzo's hurt right now, so that's why he's not really doing much. But I'm pretty sure those guys will be on the NXT Arrival show tonight for sure. And then another one that I do like is this whole BFFs group. Summer Rae, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks. Summer and Sasha, I think, are decent in the ring. Charlotte, you haven't really seen yet. She probably sucks in the ring. That's probably why you don't see her.
She's really fit. Like, you can see, like, her...
Yeah, she's like the Nicole
like,
Bass of... She's the Nicole Bass of this era.
Yeah, and she's not that attractive. You can tell that she's Ric Flair's daughter.
But yeah, which doesn't make sense to be in this group because it's like the pretty girls, But it's a cool group. They haven't had a group like this since Lay Cool with Michelle McCool and Layla. So they're a nice little women's group. I think if they moved up to the WWE roster, they could do some cool stuff with that. Maybe even, helping out AJ if AJ stays on her current path and going against the Total Divas and stuff like that. So I would look out for them. I mean, you'll definitely see them tonight. I'm just trying to think of some other names off the top of my head. You've seen Alexander Rusev. He'll be on there tonight, I'm pretty sure.
Which seeing some of his stuff, I'm actually not that impressed with him.
But I think tonight, you'll see some more of him.
And he's a big dude. It's just he just seems like he's just a big dude.
Yeah, and he's gonna be, a big force. They're pushing the hell out of him right now.
Oh yeah, Tyler Breeze too. That's someone to.
That was another one I wanted to mention was Tyler Breeze. He's got one of the coolest entrances ever. It's like him and Fandango are like perfect like pair together, or him and even Dolph would be a great pair because everyone compares him to Dolph Ziggler pretty much.
Yeah,
that they all look the same. I'm just kind of looking at their roster right now. of some other guys that I'm missing.
I mean, Breeze is extremely charismatic.
Yeah.
His entrance is completely charismatic. He definitely has charisma. In-ring wise, he has the foundation down. There's just nothing that really kind of pulls him apart from other people. So I think he just needs to work on on defining who his actual character is inside the ring, and I think he'll be set because he's got the other stuff down.
Yeah, and then some other names you might see tonight. There's Leo Kruger. I think he changed his gimmick, and I haven't seen it. He's a decent wrestler. He's just really freaking creepy.
Yeah, he's really creepy. Serial killer creepy.
If he keeps that gimmick, but I don't know if they're keeping that. Mason Ryan is down there. He was with the Nexus when they did the whole Nexus storyline, but he got sent back down. He's got the look. You know why he's there.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon's got the biggest heart on for this guy because of how fucking big he is.
Yeah, he's huge.
But he's a decent wrestler. He's nothing spectacular. He's terrible on the mic, though. That's why he's down there. He's working on his skills. But I mean, he definitely has a little bit of a future. Excuse me. With them because of how big he is. Just kind of flipping through the roster here at some more people that I can see. We talked about Tyler Breeze. That's pretty much it. But, I mean, Xavier Woods was down here, and a couple of the other guys, Xavier Woods, Big E, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt family, the whole Wyatt family. I mean, all these guys are all NXT products. Yeah, these guys are all NXT products. The Shield, the Wyatt family, and these guys are major players in the WWE right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to make a name for yourself, this is the place to do it right now. But one question I got for you before we end this is there's a lot of talk that if somebody signs with the WWE, other than like the big names like a Kurt Angle or a Sting, but people like an AJ Styles, a Chris Hero had to go down there. Do you think it's right to put those guys right to NXT like that?
Oh man, we've had so many debates about this. This is like a whole show's worth of a topic right here because it's so hard. I think in this day and age, unless, like you said, unless you are someone that's a proven professional wrestler on a main level with a main company, I think it's just what has to be done. Me personally, do I believe like if AJ Styles was signed, should he just go right to the WWE roster? Absolutely. But will he? No. I think the WWE makes them learn that style.
Yeah. I think everybody that they sign now will probably go down there.
Yeah.
And it's weird to think, you're like, man, if they sign AJ Styles, he would go to NXT. Like, AJ Styles if he signs with the WWE, he's automatically top 10 best wrestler in the company.
Yeah.
He's that good. And, like, they've loved Samoa Joe. They've wanted Samoa Joe for a while. Would they send Samoa Joe down? I know there's been talks of Matt Morgan. Would Matt Morgan go right back down there? It's just, I don't know. It's really weird. I mean, but the WWE has put in so much money into this new performance center and NXT and all that. It's, if you don't use it, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, I think with as much money they've put into it, it's kind of essential now that mostly everyone has to go through NXT at least, even if they were maybe on the main roster and they just talked, or they were, if like Matt Morgan came in just as a bodyguard, I think he would still be on NXT as a wrestler. I think it would be maybe just two different kinds of characters from NXT to WWE, so to speak. But yeah, I think for the most part, everyone has to go through NXT at least for a couple of months. And I know it's so frustrating for me with Chris Hero because Chris Hero is amazing. And I'm actually going to see him, I guess, on March 22nd in Dayton, taking on AJ Styles for Ring of Honor. But I think it's so frustrating because he's so good, and I think he got frustrated himself of having to be in NXT for so long. But it's a kind of thing where you kind of just got to suck it up. You got to do it, and you kind of got to be like, this is me paying my dues, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah, that's what I think too. So I think it's kind of going to be the norm for now, but it's definitely a great place to be, though. I mean, you're going to learn a lot. So.
Oh yeah, it's not like it used to be where it was just like a facility and they just put on like underclass WWE kind of matches. Like that whole compartment right there is top of the line elite. I mean, you get to work on your promo skills, you get to work on your body, you get to work on your matches, you get to work on ring psychology. It's like it's everything right there. So it's absolutely not a bad thing to do. And there's probably a whole lot of WWE people on the main roster that actually could benefit a little bit from going down there even for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I agree. But all right, well, that's going to be our show for today. Check us out on Twitter at The Rope Break, YouTube The Rope Break as well, Facebook The Rope Break. Leave your comments, suggestions, anything like that. That'd be cool. And I think me and Jeff are going to go check out the WWE Network some more and watch some pay-per-views of David Arquez as the World Heavyweight Champion.
I hate you. All right, everyone. We will we'll see you later this week, or talk to you later this week for our weekly wrap up, and we'll have a couple of our top topics to talk about. So until then, we'll see you guys later.
And hopefully Willow's not on fucking Impact.